Zach, how are we doing?
Hey, we're good, Riley. We're good.
All right, it's been two months since our last episode.
Mm.
We've been busy, I guess. You
Yeah, I mean, trying to get the truth out there is hard work. Takes a lot of time. So,
yeah, we had a lot of pushback on the Agartha stuff. I think we were getting a little bit too close to the truth.
hmm hmm
I had a guy come up to me in Food Lion the other day and say something about like don't worry about what's inside the earth or something like that. He could have just been, on crack or something, but he could have also just been guarding the secret of Agartha,
mm.
and this what it were the semi-advanced people.
I mean, people would say they're totally advanced. Completely advanced.
Yeah.
So,
Well, today, Zach, we're gonna talk about UFOs, and
mm,
this is one of my favorite topics because I mean, who doesn't like a good UFO story?
hmm,
But I'm gonna share 4 UFO stories that are a little bit lesser known.
okay.
I doubt you've heard any of these.
Oh,
Which I
perfect.
think will make it fun. I doubt anyone who's listening, unless you're like a real UFO head, I don't think you've heard of any of these. And all of them happened outside of the United States.
I feel like those are the most valid stories. I don't
Mhm.
know what it is about like a Slavic alien that sounds way more real than an American alien. So I'm really excited.
Right? Right? And odds that we get back to Bigfoot are actually like more than 0.
I love that. I love
Um,
that.
but Zach, just before we jump in, give me the lowdown on like where you stand on UFOs, if you know much about UFO um, stories. How familiar are you?
I think I've heard a good amount of UFO stories, mainly in the kind of Roswell Area 51 sort of section.
Mhm.
Um, I've heard a lot. I've listened to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts about aliens.
You heard the Bob Lazar one? That
Yeah,
one's
yeah, yeah. And I
I think
think
it's
I don't
weird
know.
that it starts with, like, the dude has, like, a really bad headache, so he's having a hard time talking.
Well, okay, here's what's really interesting. There I actually in part of my general research, I was watching a video yesterday about it was called The Forbidden Knowledge Iceberg,
Mhm.
God tier, right? So like
God
deep.
tier.
And they were talking about this video was posted 3 years ago, and they were talking about sound manipulation weapons, which have since been confirmed supposedly by the president himself, right? And the use of what they call the discombobulator in the Venezuela invasion that happened
Mhm.
a few months ago.
Mhm.
Um, and they say in this video that these sonic weapons were developed using alien technology from Area 51. So maybe they were aiming it at Bob during the podcast, you know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? He coulda also just had a really bad headache. I don't know.
He
But
does sound insane. So he
yeah, it
might just
does, and
brain damage.
honestly, we could do, like, a whole podcast just on the Bob Lazar stuff because 'cause there's been a lot of, um, efforts to discredit him. But today we're gonna talk about some unique ones. And the first one happens in a place called Cusack, I think is what it's called. I think that's
John Cusack's hometown. Yeah.
it's the, let's see, hold on. Do you see this?
Okay. Yeah.
Cusack. Okay, Cusack. Alright, so that's how you say it. Anyways,
Yeah.
um, it's a place in France. It's very rural. I'll share my screen here. Um, let's see. Here we go. Okay. So, uh, this is where it is. It is like, I mean, don't even ask me to pronounce this or this.
Limoges.
Uh,
Limoges.
yeah, but like kind of towards the western coast of France, and like I
Okay.
guess yeah, that looks like a park. Um, but I'll give you kind of the quick version of it because I think the stories get um a little more complex as we go. But this one, it happened in 1967 in France. A brother and sister, 13-year-old boy, 9-year-old sister. They said they were watching cows in a field because I guess that's what you do in Cusack. And they saw 4 small black beings. They're about 47 inches tall. For reference, this is from Walmart. This is a desk. It's 47 inches long. Like if you took your desk and just stood it up.
That's helpful because you said 47 inches. I had no idea what that meant.
Exactly. So anyways, um, so yeah, they see like 4 different beings. They're about that tall, so not quite as tall as a regular person. And they said that they floated into the air and then they entered this round orb thing or like a spaceship, which was about 15 feet in diameter. That was just hovering over the field. Um, and what's crazy, because they went and told the police. So this is like the middle of the summer or towards the end of the summer. And so the police are like, what the heck? They go out with them to where they said it happened. And they actually noticed that there was something up. That they noticed it smelled weird. It smelled like sulfur, like almost like rotten eggs. And they noticed that there was dried grass where the craft took off.
Mm.
And so this story was secret. It was classified for a long time, but actually was unclassified when the French government released a whole mass of documents in 2007. And so one thing that's interesting, this is just a drawing of like what they think happened. I love this guy. Just looks like he's just big
He's
chilling.
vibing.
Yeah,
He's
he's
vibing.
just like, yo, we're heading back into Oakland. Uh, I know they probably like just came out here to like Smizoke or something,
Yeah, he's
like
off the dried
alien.
grass, bro.
I know he's on that alien kush. Um, but then yeah, they like said that they dove into the sphere and
They went into it like they just went into it. Like it didn't open or anything.
no, here's another like depiction of it.
Did
This
Bob
looks
Rock this one? What is
no, dude,
this?
this straight up looks like it's from like a early 2000s kids TV show. Like
Yeah.
this is like the same artist that did like Hey It's Franklin. You know
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
they had their
Franklin.
best working on UFO depictions back then. But also this doesn't. I guess this is the boy and this is his sister. I don't know.
I don't know. I felt like it's the opposite. The one in the beret which very they I guess they were like, how do we communicate that this is French? She's wearing a beret.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe she was. I don't know. I can't tell. I have French people. No, I can't say that on this podcast. I can't say that.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. So that's actually the end um of that story. I thought that was like kind of a good appetizer. The thing that I think is the most interesting is the smell. I mean, that could be explained away by a lot of different things. The grass. I guess it's kind of like, why would they have any reason to come up with this story? C7. Who knows what French government was doing? I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting one. Any
I think.
comment on that?
I think. You said it yourself. There wasn't much else to do than watch cows. You know.
Right.
And I think they were out there and they were like, "This blows. Let's do anything but this." And they came up with this story. I don't know if this has much credence to it, in my opinion, just because lack of evidence, but also probably more evidence than Agartha. So,
Maybe. Well, for the next story, I'm going to take us to Africa, to Zimbabwe, to a
Mm.
place called the Ariel Primary School. Ooh. This is in a suburb of a town called Harare. But this is in a place called Rua. And look,
Oh, it's got its own Google spot there, huh?
yeah. Um, So this story is actually really interesting. Incredibly compelling because of how many eyewitnesses there were. So, all right, September 16th, 1994. So 2 years before I was born, one less than a month before Abby was born, our sister. Shout out.
Mm.
There was a UFO sighting. So, um, let me tell you a little bit about Ariel School. This is the website that I also like. I just love this picture. Like, I need to like save this just as like encourage.
Made it into the other picture is fantastic. I don't know if I'd even be able to do that.
Yeah, so it's been around for 25 years, and I was really hoping when I scrolled down to recent events that I would see just like UFOs or something. I scoured the website. I could not find anything about UFOs.
That's
But
shocking.
apparently it's a really expensive school. It's actually like primarily white kids that went to the school when this happened because like there were wealthy families in Zimbabwe or something. I was a little confused about that, but um I mean, it makes no difference. But yeah, I just I was just hoping to find like maybe it's under extracurricular. I don't know, like something about UFOs in the site.
Why is golf not in the sports section? That's confusing. That's sus. That's evidence right there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, I, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. First time I've ever been to a like Zimbabwe school site. Anyways, we'll go back to Google Maps. So what happened on September 16th? So think about it. They probably just got back to school. 62 kids, so 62 students between the ages of 6 and 12. They said that they saw a uh, craft come down from the sky and then land on a field near them. Um, and some of the kids, they claimed that the aliens or beings started to approach them and uh, broadcast telepathic messages to them about the environment. What I'm reading says they communicated to them a message with an environmental theme, which I just think that's a funny way to put it. So some kids ran away, some kids were just like struck with like all of what was going on. Not everyone who was at the school that day said that they saw them, that they saw something. But it is interesting, like a few, I mean, like several of the kids still maintain that what they saw happen. Um, and so there had been some sightings of UFOs in Africa 2 days before, but it actually was just a reentry of a satellite, like a rocket from satellite launch. But what's really interesting about this, it was like in the morning, 10 a.m. The like faculty, the adults were inside having a meeting at the time. Yeah. And like the whole thing they said like lasted 15 minutes. And then like the kids all like rushed in and told the teachers like what they had seen. And so like BBC sent somebody down to like 3 days later to like investigate and like interview and like filmed interviews with the teachers, with the kids. And he said, after investigating the incident, he said, I could handle war zones, but I could not handle this, which is so
What?
interesting here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they also had some of the kids, this was with like a different reporter who visited the next day, draw pictures of what they'd seen. So we'll get to that in a little bit.
Ooh, good.
So in terms of like what they saw, they thought like the disc was, or they thought the UFO was like a disc. It was silver and it like floated down to like a field with some trees like just outside the school. And then it was like between 1 and 4 creatures with big eyes, and they were dressed in all black. Kind of harkens back to uh Cusack with the kind of
Yeah.
the aliens in black. Um
Do you think this is interesting? Do you think that I've never heard of an alien story where they have clothes. Have you heard of a story where they have clothes?
No, but I have heard of stories where there's different colors of aliens. Like there's the
Right.
grays, there's like
Greens.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, so the kids like in the interviews, um, they said the kids said like these messages, the environmental messages, um, they like warned the kids like something was gonna happen, that they shouldn't pollute, and like they're harming the world. We shouldn't get too like much technology or something like that. And then one like child said that the world would end because they're not taking care of the planet. Um and so I think that's super interesting because like I feel like a big theme with UFO sightings is that like UFOs are like alien like races are so advanced that like they are able to like take care of like we're like a almost like a primal like not very civilized probably race to them with like the way that we still like have war and stuff like that. Anyways, I think that's interesting. Go ahead.
It's I think there's, like it's interesting, there's a couple different kinds of alien stories, like, there's some where the aliens are benevolent and they wanna warn us of something, and there's some where the aliens are, like, probing. I don't know what that would be about if it was the same kind of alien,
Yeah.
uh, or the aliens are, like, just straight up hostile. But it's fascinating. I do like this narrative of, like, the aliens are looking out for us. You know, they're like, "Hey, watch out." They're
Right.
not too involved. They're not just stopping everything and saying, "Hey, guys, you need to change everything." They're, like, appearing very, small amounts, and they're like, "Hey, don't do that. Stop it."
Yeah.
You
And they're
know?
like appearing to like children too.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
there is like some sort of like theory that like aliens would stop nuclear war if we ever got to that point. Like
Maybe they did. Maybe JFK came face to face with an alien in the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he was like, "I see what you're saying, alien man. I agree."
maybe. That was a pretty solid JFK.
That was pretty
Um
good. I was kinda hoping you would do a Castro, but that's okay. That's
I
alright.
don't know. So you want to see two of the most famous drawings?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's like exactly what you expect. Okay, here's one. Yeah, with the craft.
You said
Um,
the reporter made this?
no, these are the kids.
Oh, I
They're
thought
like
you
Charlie
said the
South.
reporter made this. I was like, "Get that guy fired."
No,
Wow.
yeah, it's like, uh, and then
Okay.
here's another one. This one's a little bit better. There's some like really nice
Oh,
perspective going on here too.
Brian put the signature and the John Hancock there. That's amazing.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure like his work was being seen.
I
Um,
like the perspective.
I know
Okay.
it's nice perspective, but like yeah,
Saucer
it's like
with a dome. Classic.
and this almost looks like somebody is like facing the
Mhm.
but I think it's supposed to be like the person
The alien.
coming out.
Okay, so it has arms and legs is interesting. That's really
Right,
interesting.
right. So yeah, it's like I mean, this is kind of like if you ask like a kid like both of these, you know, like draw like an alien and like a spacecraft, like this is like
Yeah.
what they draw, right? But I think it's really interesting there's like 67 kids and like I think this was one of the people interviewed like down the road. I don't know. When I was when I was searching for like uh Ariel primary school like sighting, this is one of the like
That guy
search
looks like he was abducted by the alien.
I just I felt like you would enjoy this, like dude with like a real heavy duty eye patch, chilling, like you know, it's like he's got the direct TV in the pool, and
We gotta
anyways,
get him on the podcast. I wanna interview him
yeah,
and see what
actually,
he has to say, you know?
all right, well, we're gonna move on from that one, and we're gonna move to uh our favorite place, Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean this like we have to talk about Russia and
Open
like
the door. Yeah.
this is Downogorsk and it just looks like your
Most
typical
depressing Christmas display I've ever seen.
yeah, but it also just looks like it looks like a Call of Duty map, but
Yeah.
it also like when it's warm
What is that a child with a machine gun? What is that?
I don't know. I literally do not know, but it That's the thing. You like anybody who wants to waste like anyone who wants to waste an hour who's listening to this, go on Google Maps, put in any random place in Russia, and then just go to like the photos. Like you'll just have the best time. Like this
That's
isn't there.
crazy.
That's not there. Like,
That's not fair at all.
but just like you'll find just the most interesting stuff.
There's no
Um,
people in any of these pictures, which is really scary to me. Oh,
there's a guy.
there's some people. Okay.
Yeah, it's very like sparse. Anyways. Okay, well, Dalnogorsk is actually really close. It's a really interesting spot. It's like
Oh,
this part of Russia. Yeah. So it's like close to Japan. It borders China, like kind
mm.
of close to North Korea. Like really unique place. Like you don't really.
Oh, it borders North Korea, actually. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, right
That's
here.
crazy. That's gotta be a crazy part of town. You do not wanna live there.
Tumen Gang.
I mean, if you are living in Tumengang, you are certainly privy to some crazy stuff. Like, you probably see the government moving things in and out of town all the time, and you're like, "The
The
these
well, I
will
think
be."
what's crazy is like, wait a second. That's yeah. Like right here is like North Korea, China, Russia. Like you think like homies meet up here and just like like
They Slav squat together. They have to.
they what? Pop squat,
They all Slav squat on 3 parts of the country, right in the
just
middle.
running some trios. Anyways, we gotta get to the story. So okay, this one is so obscure. There's no Wikipedia article on it.
Wow.
Very little on it. Um uh but there
It
is
was
a
whispered to you on the wind, right? That's how you heard of it.
yeah, there is a on the Alien Wiki, there is like a you know a article about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is like Alien Wiki if you want to visit here.
It'd be good chat.
Um we'll go back to Google Maps. So I'll just explain. So it was 1986, January 29th. I can't imagine how cold it is there in January, but like uh people noticed like a few residents this small red ball hovering in kind of the area and that it was kind of flying parallel to the ground, no sound, they couldn't hear anything. And it was about like a half a mile above ground. And then it got near this place called Hill 611, Hill 611.
They it's too big. They can't name everything.
True. No, I know. You have to like I feel like you gotta like call it something. But it started to descend and some people thought it might have crashed. Some people thought it was like a controlled descent. And then like uh there was a flash of light, maybe like an explosion. And then 3 days after the crash. So like 3 days had passed. So they were like, whoa, and then just did their thing.
They're like, "That's weird." Anyway,
And then some scientists I mean, it was probably hard to get there because it was like 3 days. I mean, like you got to watch out for what's his name, the
oh,
mink.
the Mank, yeah.
I don't know if the mink, maybe the mink chills in this area like in the summer. It
They
looks
were
kind
probably
of nice.
trying to meet the Mank. They were probably going to see their friend, you know?
Yeah, actually true. Um, there's probably like mink tourism for aliens. That's what I would. There's just one sleazy alien who's like, nope, no refunds if you don't see the mink.
"Hey,
Okay.
I told you I'd take you to see the Mank. I didn't say you would see the Mank."
Anyways, so they like said the crash site was like 3 meters square and the ground had been charred. So like what you'd picture in your mind, like in a cartoon, UFO crashes. But then like the rocks were covered with this black film and there was like a
Facebook.
burning like the remains of like a burned tree. And then this is like where it gets kind of it's like a toss up. There's like various evidence that there were alien remains. So like surrounding rocks, they had silver metal deposit, but silver metal like they don't know what it was, but they actually found out it was just lead, which is interesting. And then there were also like some folks that said there was like this alien mesh that was recovered that had high levels of gold and other like rare elements, which is really interesting. Um, there's let's see, a photograph. I don't think this is a photograph of uh the site because this came from the Alien Wiki and
Yeah, that's not real at all. That cannot be real.
yeah,
Like,
I don't
Alien Wiki would not be holding on to that and just burying it in a wiki article, you know?
yeah, exactly. You never know. But I mean it was covered in the news, but like this one there's really just not a lot of info on, which makes it really interesting. And you'd think that there would be more sightings of aliens in Russia, but I mean there's just so much crazy stuff that happens there that maybe they just kind of
I'm sure that there have been many more, and the Russian government is so on top of that. They probably have a whole alien squad, you know?
yeah, they definitely. Yeah, honestly, like there's probably a ton of sightings or things that happen in Russia, but like yeah, they've got that. So what?
I just remembered, through my job, I get invited to a lot of events around town, and one of these was AlienCon. And I was invited and given a badge, a VIP badge, and my name was John Alien. And I didn't go, and I
You
really
didn't
wished I had gone because that would have
what?
made this episode
VIP
so much
badge, dude?
better. I didn't go. I wasn't gonna go to AlienCon.
Dude, I would have gone.
But, like, they sent the badge and they were like, "You are John Alien." And I was like,
Sean
"I
Ailing.
John Alien? That's amazing."
Well, that would have been some entertaining people watching.
Yeah, for sure.
This is just so random, but I looked up when I was Googling and doing some research, I saw that someone named Luca Hugo Brucchieri designed this actually really cool piece called Ephemeral Light Object, title Crash Hill 611, uh, carbonized tree trunk, brass tube, opal spear, small particles of galaxies, and various electrical components. And I think it's just like a designer and um they used this super obscure alien
That's
encounter
so
as their inspiration. Um
that's so sick.
yeah, which I think is actually really cool. So uh yeah, just I think it's cool that there was the bark.
It's like a charred tree. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So shout out Luca. That's pretty sweet. All right, are you ready for the best one?
Yes. These have been really good. I've not heard any of these so far.
All right, good. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go to Poland to a place called Emilsin. Emilsin? I don't know how you say it, but there's paintball, like there's nearest town is either Chodel, Trzow, or Opole Lubelski. Um,
Where are we in relation to the rest of the country? Can you zoom out?
yep, I'll zoom out. So it's another really rural place. But yeah, this is like here, so south of Warsaw.
I've only been to Krakow. I haven't made it anywhere else in Poland, but it can get I've heard that the rural areas are really beautiful. So,
Yeah. Now I just completely lost where I was. Okay, Emilson. There we go.
there we go.
So, what is the one restaurant here? Dom Wasoni. Wow,
Oh,
that's some
that
very like,
doesn't look
pale
good.
looking meat. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
that doesn't look good.
Wedding venue. Cool. This looks like something you'd see in the U.S. Okay, so there's a guy. His name is Jan. This is him. He's looking super steezy. Jan Wolske. And he was a farmer in Poland, and it's 1978. So this is what is this the oldest one, or was Hill 11? That was
Hill the
6.
first story was in the '60s.
Yep. Okay, so 1978. And
He's
um,
living under the regime, under the intense Soviet regime.
yeah, so um he was born in 1907. Just think of all the stuff that this dude experienced.
This guy has gone through
I know.
Hot.
1907 and died in 1990. So he actually died 12 years after this happened. All right, so picture this. You're Jan, you're a farmer. It's early in the morning. You woke up, you're tired, you're driving your cart, your horse-drawn cart, so there's horses.
Mm. In
And
like,
he's yawning, he's sipping on his coffee, if that's what like Polish farmers drink. And he's approached by two uh people, I guess, and they're short and they have green faces and they kind of look like humans, but they're only 5 feet tall. And so, according to Jan, they hop into his cart and sit next to him, and they start speaking in an unfamiliar language. And he's just tired. He's like, I gotta go, pick some beets or something.
he's like, "Whatever, man. I
Yeah, he's
don't
like,
care."
if you want to catch a ride, be my guest. But he initially assumed that they were foreigners, so he just kind of he's this Polish guy.
Yeah.
He said they were
These weird
foreigners. His quote,
people.
his quote, not mine, due to their slanted eyes and prominent cheekbones. Um,
Wow.
so he said that he drove with them to an area. It was a clearing, and there was this large craft that was hovering. And so he's just like approaching with his horse cart with
Were
these.
they, like, pointing him the way, and he was just like, "Alright, I'll go. I'll go."
That's what I want to know. Or like he was already heading there, you know?
Maybe, yeah.
But no, they probably were pointing. They probably
Yeah.
were because he thought that they were just like hitchhikers. And so he he described the um craft as completely white. It was about the size of a school bus, just hovering above the ground. Um, Not really any kind of notable features to it, but it had like these four like tongs, almost like they were like drills that produced this humming noise. And then there was like a elevator that extended from the ground to where the UFO was. And so like this is a news article. This is just a rendering of
Mhm.
what that kind of looks like. And so this is where it gets crazy is he actually says that um he was taken aboard the craft. And he there were two other beings, so four, which like is something we've heard in three stories now.
Yeah, they travel in packs. Mm.
Yeah, right. So there were two that were just kind of chilling, waiting by this like toaster looking thing. And
Kinda looks like an Airstream trailer, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Maybe they just figured out how to make one fly.
You saying that though, like, yeah, we'll come back to that actually.
Okay.
Um, so there's the two other guys. It's almost like a little bit intimidating now because there's the two guys next to him. I just imagine it's almost kind of like a mob, like they're about to do a hit, like come on,
Yeah.
like, and so they
"Hey,
go up
come in the craft. Just come in the craft.
yeah,
It's fine." Yeah.
they go up the elevator and then they gesture for him to undress, take his clothes off.
How do you do that? How do you do that as an alien?
I wonder if they were like pointing at his clothes and like
Did they,
I don't.
they're, like, pinching it and they're yeah, maybe.
So he saw like 8 to 10 benches arranged around the interior. So like this is like a craft maybe for a lot of people. I don't know.
Okay.
But he also said that he saw these birds near the door that were like immobilized. Like they had their wings and legs, they were like trying to move, but like they couldn't fly.
Hmm.
Um and so he said he was examined with a device that was like two saucers.
Uh,
They examined him. Then after this checkup,
oh,
he
they
was
probe
told, he was told to get dressed. So he said like the interior, it was black, it was kind of gray, and it matched the clothes that the beings were wearing.
Okay, so they wore clothes. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
No windows, nothing. The illumination like only came from the door. And then after all this, after he takes his clothes off, they examine him with this like scope of some kind. He said that the beings they ate something and then offered him something similar, which he said looked like an icicle, and then he politely declined. What?
He was fine with taking his clothes off. He was like, "Whatever, I do that all the time." But eating your icicle,
No, no, no. So then they took him to the door, and then he said he bowed to the beings. They bowed in return, and then like I guess he's back on the ground. The craft like lifts off and then leaves, and so he like goes home and tells his family. It's like, hey, come check this thing out, which is also weird because I guess he saw it leave. I don't know. So like he told his kids, he had sons that then they got their neighbors and then like they all went to go investigate. And according to some people, like the grass was, beaten down and like they saw like footprints and had different paths and stuff. Um and then there was a 6-year-old boy that said that there was like a bus thing that was hovering over a barn before ascending into the sky. I don't know. I didn't like chase that down where that came from. Um But then he did 2 months after that, he did an interview with 2 people, and the audio of that was, like, private until well, I don't know exactly when it was released, but it was private for a long time, which is super interesting too. Um, so they also like, if you wanna learn more, there's this, like, Polish comic,
comic. That's amazing.
and these aliens are wearing, like shiesty masks.
Yeah, they they came from Chicago. That's crazy.
Um, yeah, but, anyways, they actually put up a memorial, and I feel like this is so funny because you and I saw this. I feel like the like Eastern Europeans love their like statue memorial.
They do.
Yeah, this was um erected in 2005.
Mm.
And it says on the 10th of May 1978 in Emilson, a UFO object landed. The truth will astonish us in the future, which I think is a really interesting yeah, a really interesting thing to put on, and I think this is like a sketch of what they look like. This I honestly don't I keep s like, I saw it in the comic and that it's different, but, like, when you Google image search, like, things about it, like, these types of sketches keep popping up.
They had to stop at the intergalactic gas station and be like, we can't just be plain. We need to roll up with something." And they saw the ski masks
Yes.
at the intergalactic gas station. They were like, "All right, well, this is all we got." So,
Yeah. Or, well,
um,
I think that it I think that it was, like, some kind of, like, sightseeing
yeah,
thing,
they were like,
and
Let's mess with this farmer guy and tell him to take his clothes off. It'll be hilarious. We'll wave
right.
around like our fake sensor and he won't know, you know?
Right, and, like, if the aliens that showed up in Africa to the kids warning them about, like, environmental things, like, that might be, like, the Viking cruise. This is, like, the Carnival cruise, where they're "Let's just disrespect the hell out of where we, like, dock. Like, we're gonna pull up, we're gonna hop in this guy's cart, like, we got shiesty masks,
Yeah, yeah,
take
yeah.
your clothes off," like,
Um, and it's
yeah,
like, we'll tell him to eat this thing. It's like space poop, and
eat
we'll
it
tell
raw.
him it'll be so
Yeah,
funny.
it's, like, hella spicy.
Yeah, yeah.
He, like, eats the thing and, like, he just doesn't just dies, like, like, that there would be no story.
This is definitely like the B team, like the goody two shoes aliens are warning the planet about the environment, and then these guys are like, we don't care. We don't care.
Right,
Let's
and they pull up in, like, the bus. Like, they don't have,
Yeah,
like, the
they did have the bus. They had
like,
the
this is
party bus.
yeah, or this is just this is like the Ford, like Econoline, like,
Yeah.
big van, That might be, like, a little rusty, like, it might be a rental. They've
Mhm,
got, like, a bunch of their boys, and then, like, the other crafts are, like, really nice
mhm.
crafts. Well, so it's yeah, it is interesting. There's a bunch of different types of crafts. There's different aliens. They're wearing stuff. I'd like to think aliens don't wear anything that, like how, you go to Disney, you buy the Mickey Mouse ears. Maybe they're like we wanna wear
Ah,
clothes, you know, because
souvenir.
that's what humans do.
Yeah.
So those are my 4 stories. Um, I
Woo!
thought they were really fun. I mean, honestly, like, I didn't necessarily want this to be like, "Are UFOs real?" I just wanted to, like, share some interesting abduction/sighting stories.
Those are good. I had never heard any of those. I really like those.
Uh-huh.
Especially the similarities were really fascinating. That was
Yeah.
amazing. The threads between those.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, clothes is odd. It's so odd to me.
Mhm.
Um, which is like, why would it be odd? You know, like, why would it be weird that aliens wear clothes? I don't know. It's just like, I don't think that they would wear clothes. But if they have advanced, like, if they have spaceships, you know, they'd probably, like, wouldn't they get cold? You know, wouldn't they get cold? Wouldn't they want a coat? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Or yeah. Yeah, anyways. The other thing with the Polish guy is he could have also just been tripping balls, and it was like a van and just some dudes with birds. And they're like, "Hey, man," like, and then he was just like embarrassed and said it was I don't know. But yeah, I thought those were interesting ones. If anyone wants to learn more about like actual like legit alien stuff, I think there's like a documentary that just came out called like The Age of Disclosure or something like that, which like is like eyewitnesses. It mostly focuses on the US, but it like there's unredacted documents and stuff. There's a whole lot you could look at. But I just think that the ones that are like less popular are really interesting. So
Mm, yeah, those were good. We'll definitely
yeah.
be talking about aliens more for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the next time we do an episode, I think maybe maybe start the JFK series if you want to do that.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially since like I think it was a few years ago they released like more of the documents.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm really excited. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty. We're gonna get into the timing, especially of Lee Harvey Oswald's supposed escape from the book depository. We're going down to the second. It's gonna be fantastic.
good. And you
Mhm.
got to read that Stephen King book.
Yeah, it's becoming a show, I think, or it is a show.
It is a show. Yeah, I didn't see it, but yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it's made me want to read the book really bad. So
Yeah, you should. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it for this week's or months or however long it is till we make another one episode. Zach, thanks for bearing with me.
always right. That was good. That was fantastic.
Sweet.